First of all, let me introduce myself and thank you all for coming. My name is Paula Bushy. I am the Senior Director of Sales here at BookingPal. And you also see that we have Treeloke from Hopper here. So we are all very anxious to learn everything we can about Hopper. And at the end, we'll be able to tell you, if you're not currently with BookingPal, how you can get onto BookingPal and how we can get your properties over to Hopper as well. So with that, Treeloke, please take it away.
Thanks a lot, Paula. Good afternoon, everyone. Given BookingPal's world-class channel management solution and performance on other OTAs, we chose them as one of our first few channel manager integrations, and are really excited about this partnership's potential. Today we're going to cover how you can take advantage of this new connection and also the benefits of joining us early. If you have any questions, please add them in the Q&A chat, and we'll answer them during the session in the chat and also live at the end. So let's get started. As Paula mentioned, I work at Hopper as a senior connectivity partner manager. I've been here for 3.5 months. So new to Hopper, but not new to the industry. Prior to this, I was at Vrbo in a very similar role, working with partners like BookingPal and working with property managers like you. So really happy and glad to be here. So we have a pretty simple and straightforward agenda. My goal is to essentially showcase how a different OTA, why you should care, the benefits of listing early with us, and how you can get started today. So let's jump in. So why should you care about Hopper, right? How is Hopper different? So we aspire to really help customers travel better. And what does that mean, right? It means delighting them across the customer journey. So from making it fun and engaging to use our app, to giving them great travel options at a competitive rate, to offering low-cost flexibility through our Fintech products, and also having customer-centric products that depend on a lot of custom interviews and listening to customers and property managers like yourself, and finally, responsive customer support. So ultimately, providing a truly unique customer and partner experience. So these are the key reasons Hopper as a whole is set up for success and growth in the future. We have the largest closed user group in North America, and the key word here is closed user group. This means that these travelers rarely use other apps for travel. So that's 80 million app users, and by growing, adding 2.8 million users globally per month. Also, we forecast to sell a lot of travel this year, almost 4.5 billion in travel and related services, including across all our verticals. And the pandemic, even though it was obviously terrible in many ways, in some ways, it really helped fuel our growth. So largely due to our Fintech products, we were able to really grow while other OTAs were struggling, and we'll get into that a bit. We have a lot of trusted investors, so we raised over $600 million in private capital. And a lot of these investors have backed many other successful startups that have one thing in common. They all are product driven and looking to disrupt the industry. So these are, you can see the names down there. I'm sure you've heard of them. So really happy to have these investors backing us. And finally, we really revolve around data. So Hopper has been around, for a while, and you must be wondering what have we been doing, since we've launched the company as a whole. We've been collecting a lot of data. We use almost trillions of data points, as you can see. We use algorithms to process these data points, and this helps us make really precise and personalized recommendations that is unique to Hopper. So this is how we plan to be disruptive and be a true leader in this space going forward. So what do we do with this data, right? So with this data, we started with flights, which today is our leading revenue generator, but soon launched other verticals like hotels, cars, experiences, and finally homes, the reasons why we're here. So having this variety of options makes our app really sticky with travelers, and makes them want to use only our app for travel. As you can see, we have so many verticals, which gives them a reason to just use our app. Another reason why we're truly different is that each of these verticals is run independently, like its own business. So, I've worked with other OTAs, as mentioned. I can tell you sometimes politics and red tape can really hamper progress, especially when it comes to products and being responsive to property managers and traveler needs. But we at Hopper Homes are a startup within a startup. So we're a private company with laser focus. So a lot of exciting things to come. So you must have heard the word app quite a lot. So let's dive into that a little bit. We're proudly app first. We focus on organic, social, and app store growth mostly. So our marketing budget is almost 1/40th of other OTAs. So that gives us the opportunity to spend more on products and actually working on solutions that help guests and property managers. With this approach, we're capturing a new audience, which is mostly mobile first. So you can see in our monthly active users, which is basically a really important metric for apps, that we're surpassing Airbnb in the number of downloads. So on the left, you see us over here at the bottom, and we're basically a top OTA player by these monthly active users, more than Airbnb in the last year. And for 2022, we're projected to be almost at 36 million. So we're trending towards that number, and this will put us at par with Walmart, Amazon, and even other travel peers. So really exciting and really good traction in general for our app. So wrapping this section just on Hopper as a whole, we want to be a travel super app. And you must be wondering, okay, what is a travel super app? So a super app is easy to use and engaging. It has a great selection of travel options at a competitive price, which is important. It has aspects of gamification, which basically means having fun while using the app, while booking travel. That makes it super sticky and makes travelers come back and use it, because every time you engage with it, you get a reward. And finally, using those rewards to drive loyalty. And I'll talk about that a bit, about how we use Carrot Cash to really drive engagement and drive conversion within our app. The more successful our app gets across all these different verticals, the more incremental customers will come to you finally. So that's why this is important and worth mentioning. So coming to Hopper Homes, what made us launch this division in Jan of this year? We did a survey of our app users last year and found out that almost 60% wanted to book a vacation rental as their next accommodation within this closed user group. And obviously, we've seen a lot of demand for vacation rentals, and we saw that current OTAs were not really meeting traveler and property manager expectations. So from our conversations, surveys, the post-pandemic traveler and property manager, we feel, is ready and excited for a new and different kind of OTA. And primarily because their needs have changed a bit, right? We feel like they need to be more competitive since there's a lot more supply coming online. They need flexibility to factor in the uncertainties in the market. They need a responsive and really customer-centric and product-centric team. Our product team conducts a lot of customer interviews and runs experiments on almost everything daily. To just give you an example of how nimble we are, we launched our Homes marketplace in just 3 months with just 2 supplier integrations and 3 engineers. So we're extremely nimble and move really fast and learn fast. As a team, we're extremely customer centric. As I mentioned, we hire the best, we have fun. And most importantly, we're learning from past OTA's mistakes. And we'll learn from you eventually as you join up. So let's dive into why now is a critical time to get onto our platform and what are the benefits of joining early on Hopper Homes. So some of you might be seeing a dip in occupancy levels this year. Let's face it, 2021 is going to be a hard year to beat. Also post-pandemic, along with current events, there's a lot of uncertainty in the air. By joining us, you're getting access to incremental travelers and reducing your dependency on a few OTAs and hedging your bets that way. Our guests are truly incremental, and we did some research on what that incrementality looks like compared to other OTAs in the space, and the results are pretty impressive. So 35% of Hopper users don't book travel anywhere else. So that's what we mean by captive. Another 15% of Hopper's demand was also deemed incremental. So club that together, it's almost 50%. So that means that almost 1 in 2 guests that will come to you through Hopper you would only get through the Hopper partnership. So they're truly incremental, and this is what makes us really special. So how do we accomplish this, right? So it's through 2 separate captive closed groups and also our fintech offering. So you'll see on the left that our app demographics, almost 80 million users, A lot of these are female millennials between 25 and 35, and we're going to go into that whole demographic a bit after this. Mobile first shoppers, as mentioned, which is why our mobile app is so successful. And finally, leisure travel. So 90% of them book for leisure, which is where Homes comes in and will have high conversion. Next is the Capital One demographic. That's almost 40 million users, Gen X travelers, so older, more affluent, travel frequently, so more bookings per traveler, and they're able to redeem points, on the Capital One portal, which I'll get into, is one of the fastest growing portals in America right now. So with one signature with Hopper Homes, you get access to multiple different closed groups, now and in the future. And all of this is supported by our fintech platform. So these fintech products, have helped not only offer low cost flexibility and affordability to travelers in uncertain times to cover all kinds of scenarios. It also drives acquisition, retention, and also finally loyalty of these customers. So based on and especially for fintech, based on the success of these products in other verticals, we feel like it'll unlock a much larger customer base, and which will look at Hopper as a truly unique place to book because they have these products that no other OTAs have. And we do this at scale, which is tough to match by other OTAs. So jumping into just our core audience right now, who books on Hopper? Being app first, our core audience does skew towards the younger generation, which is mostly Gen Z and millennial females. So 70% of our bookings are customers under the age of 35 and 25% under the age of 25. So this signals a lot of trust in our brand among the younger generation. And also since these users have already been using our app for so long, they're almost pre-verified for the Homes marketplace. So listing on Hopper will give you access to this new captive demographic that you wouldn't get on other channels. So you must be wondering, how do we acquire these users? We take a pretty different approach. As compared to our competitors, you'll see on these charts here, Booking.com, Expedia, TripAdvisor, they rely a lot on Google, on web search, organic. We are almost solely dependent on organic, social, and app store growth. And that's helped us be really successful and focus our resources on other aspects like data, like building a good team, customer-centric products. For example, competitors almost outspend us 100 times. So for every $1 Hopper spends to acquire, OTAs spend $100. So imagine how much potential we have to deploy those funds in much more meaningful and useful ways. On the flip side, so we spoke about the demographics of our app users. Capital One is a little different. So it's a complementary user base. This is one of the fastest growing credit card travel portals in America. It's a closed user group, almost 40 million cardholders, and Hopper controls all the access. So what does that mean? We built it, we host it, and it's co-branded by us, and we control what goes on there. So once this is available for the Homes marketplace, we'll be able to exclusively take your listings and put it on Capital One and put it in front of travelers who book pretty frequently, who are affluent, and have been till now booking only on Airbnb, but that'll shift to Hopper going forward. And we're going to get into this user base a little bit more, but this is really, really exciting. And this is only one of our partnerships, so there's more to come in this space.
Trilok, may I go real quick? And I'm going to be doing the Q&A for you as well.
Yeah, sure.
Is there any way to make this any bigger? Can you make it full screen on your screen? We're showing it smaller on our screen. There we go. Perfect. Thanks for letting us know that, Mark.
Sorry, I jumped ahead here a bit. Cool. So getting to the Capital One users. So as I mentioned, these are affluent customers who travel frequently. They represent a pretty different demographic that is truly complementary. So it's a loyal customer base. As you can see from the stats here, almost 170,000 annual income, 11 trips a year, a pretty decent monthly card spend, and a household size, which means more rooms booked and more bookings in general. And the portal business itself is actually growing at a pretty incredible rate. So this year, it was 50% of all our travel bookings. and expected to grow even more going forward. We expect to be one of the top 5 sellers of travel on the planet by 2023, and a lot of this is going to be fueled by the travel portal business. So getting to one of the most exciting slides for me, one of the main reasons we were able to grow by almost 112% during the pandemic was due to these products. So this is one of the key ways in which we acquire and retain customers. And it's by offering low cost flexibility. And what does that mean, right? So all of these products allow you at a fractional rate to really protect your travel investment. So products like price prediction, price freeze, cancel for any reason, disruption protection, and also paying later helps travelers not only get peace of mind when they book, if there's changes in connections, if they miss a connections, they're covered. If they can't pay for the whole trip, especially for the younger generation, they can pay in installments. So it just makes it travel a more anxiety, driving less anxiety and also more flexible in general. And for homes especially, we plan to start with cancel for any reason. And it's at no additional cost to you. So we assume all the financial risks, almost like insurance, where we spread that cost and risk across a wide customer base. And you get the benefits of having a higher conversion from that cancel for any reason, while we take on all the risk. So it's pretty exciting. And with your help, next year we'll be able to launch this feature for homes. So really way more to come on this front. So you must be wondering, how is Homes performing so far? It's been doing pretty well. You'll see that our average daily rates are $268. Average order value is 964. LOS 3.5 nights. These are, hopefully this gives you confidence that since we've launched in Jan, we have come a long way and we are seeing good, valuable bookings. Just in terms of demand, right? Almost 1.72 million VR destinations have been searched, and more than 800,000 listings have been viewed. So this shows that there's a lot of interest in our app for the Hopper Homes marketplace. And also direct supply, which is supply that will come through property managers like you, is getting higher exposure. So y'all get 20% higher exposure than our other connections right now. So that is important. So, in general, the more property managers we add, the more exposure we get in the app. And that helps y'all win bookings. And August, just based on our partnerships like BookingPal and other integrations, August is going to be our highest month so far. So it's really exciting, and it's a good time to join right now. And in general, obviously, based on the success so far, our team's also growing. We were only 6 people in May of last year, and we're almost more than 50 today. So this is truly going to be a rocket ship, and we really hope you join us soon. So wrapping this section up, joining us will really help you get early adoption, higher visibility. You get a head start. You by getting on early, you will maximize not only your visibility but also start in rankings, get a head start in rankings, solidify your track record on future performance, and also get access to new features early. So we run a lot of tests, as I mentioned. We want to listen to property managers, so you'll have a voice in helping us shape these products that'll be more PM focused, and all the new exciting features we spoke about, like fintech and things like that. And again, early access gives you the opportunity to take advantage of our partnerships, which is coming soon, probably early next year, through Capital One. So all of the partnerships we have through our Hopper Cloud product, those customers will also use the Hopper app and have access to your home. So that's almost 120 million users overall. So who's already signed up with Hopper? We got some pretty big names on here. Some of you already probably heard of. It was a pretty big push on social about our partnership with Evolve. So that signals that there's a lot of trust in our product, and they believe in our vision. And hopefully we can see some of your names on here too. So we're really excited about all these partnerships and where this is going to take us. And we hope to learn from all these partners on how to really build a great VR marketplace. So how does it work? How can you get started? So just to give you an idea of what kind of inventory we're looking for, mostly right now we're focusing on North America. Just that's where we want to focus and really prove our success as a marketplace. We only take inventory which is less than 28 nights, so we don't accept long-term stays because this is what our app users are looking for, is stays less than 28 nights. And finally, we want to focus on pure VR inventory. So that's entire homes must have a kitchen and have to be instant bookable, just because that really drives conversion for our users. So how does our commercial model work? So we do have a different commercial model. It's called a net rate model. And what we do is we take the rate that you give us, ask you to discount it a bit, 5 to 10%, and then we add a dynamic markup, compared to other OTAs, and make sure you're the best rate in the market. And that's the rate we show the traveler. So here's an example over here where, let's say the rate on your direct website is $100, and we ask you to give a 5 to 10% discount on that rate. And then we add that markup, which is meant to win in the market. So it's different from what you have. Right now you pay 13 to 70% on other channels. This is, I feel like, a more competitive rate, and it's truly meant to make you win in the marketplace on our app compared to other OTAs. A little snapshot into our commercial terms. So you see, as I mentioned, we work on a net rate model. We are the merchant of record. We charge the guests and provide you with a virtual credit card right now. We are working on an ACH feature too, which is going to come out soon. But for now, we provide a virtual credit card, which you can charge and get the funds from the booking. And also, we assume your current cancellation policy. So through BookingPal, it's really simple, as I'm going to go through. That reduces the number of steps you have to take to get onboarded onto Hopper. So pretty hassle-free through BookingPal. You get into your dashboard, you choose Hopper, and you choose the steps to choose your cancellation policy, sign up using our form. It's a very simple form that takes 2 minutes to sign up, and choose what rate you want to use for your discount. And then create your listings as you've been doing with other channels. So the portal is really easy to use. Please remember to view the channel requirements, because we do have specific requirements for what listings we take on a Hopper, and enable the ones that basically qualify for that. If you're an existing BookingPal user, as mentioned, fill out our form, follow the steps, you'll get enabled through the portal, and then you'll be onboarded from 1 to 3 days. We're moving more towards 1 day now. We really improved our onboarding process, and we'll do some. It's a pretty low touch process, so we don't bother you too much. Just if there's some issues, we might reach out to you. And then once we're done with some sellability checks to make sure you're ready for our app, we'll get you live. And throughout this process, you'll have a lot of support to make sure you're well set up on Hopper. If you're not on BookingPal yet, please sign up, reach out to Paula. Her email is there. It's a very easy process. And again, you follow the same steps once you're signed up to get onboarded. So next steps, sign up to BookingPal, reach out to Paula. If you want to sign up to Hopper, follow and already on BookingPal, follow the onboarding steps as I just mentioned. And if you want to connect with our team, please reach out to John Stokinger. He's not on this call, but he's our Senior Business Development Manager. And there's a Calendly link in that link over there. Please use that to book some time with him to learn more about Hopper. We've also prepared some onboarding tutorials for you all. So for any partners with more than 500 properties, all based in Miami, which is a core market for us, there's a separate video tutorial and a separate process. But for all the others, there's the second link, and then there's also a specific link on how to adjust rates in BookingPal. So please reach out to us if you have any questions about this. And that's it. So ready for questions. I hope that was useful. And I think we can go to the chat window now.
Okay, I've got you for this, Trilok.
Okay,
so
thanks.
The first question was something that Isaac was really looking forward to is about the cancellation policy. I think you did answer that you will be using the PMs. Is that correct?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Using the PMS? Yeah, the PM's cancellation
using
policy.
the property manager's cancellation policies.
Yeah, so within BookingPal, once you go into the dashboard, you'll be given a range of options. And hopefully one of those options work for you. Please let us know if it doesn't. But if you go into the dashboard right now, you can see that if you go into the Hopper, click on the icon, you'll see the first step is choosing a cancellation policy from a list of options.
So for those of you that are already on BookingPal, it would be similar to the same ones that we have for other channels. So, and Wahid and I can walk you through that if you want to get on through us. Okay, the second question, and it's actually a two-part, or it's a one-parter, but two questions. How will your customer support be better than other OTAs for the property managers?
This is a great question. So one of the reasons why being a small, nimble team right now is helpful in these scenarios is that customer support and account management. For example, at Verbo, you have partner success that works with you. We have an account management team that's the same, but they have a direct line to product. So any issues that you have, first of all, get resolved really quickly. But not only that, any improvements that you want to see that is significant enough does get acted upon. So it's not only just support, responding and giving you a band-aid or just a temporary solution. We actually use that feedback and build and improve our product as we go forward. Hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, and Mark asked about his dynamic pricing. Is that going to be compatible?
So we get all of our pricing through BookingPal. So if that's working within BookingPal, it should be fine. But if it's anything different, Mark, reach out to us. We can figure out how to make it work.
And the one thing I can say is, Mark, that does come over we push out your dynamic pricing, so that should not be an issue. And last but not least is, if somebody requires full payment at time of booking, is that going to be able to be used on Hopper?
Yes, no, that works. We take payment in full on Hopper, so you should be fine there.
Okay, folks, does anybody else have any other questions? Those are the main ones. Oh, wait, sorry. Thanks, Dana. Will consumers need to sign or agree to a set of rules, or will they be able to sign the property manager's individual rental agreements?
Yeah, so any individual rental agreement will have to be signed outside of Hopper. Any additional fees also outside of your mandatory fees will be collected at the property from Hopper. So that's how that's working right now. We will have a way in the future to try to get that rental agreement into our platform, but right now it will have to be done separately.
Okay, I'm going to add something to this. Do you all require house rules so that the property manager can add that into the house rules, that a signed rental agreement is required in order to fully confirm the booking?
Yeah, so I would add that if that's in your content already. So we take your contact directly from BookingPal. So if that's already in your listing, that hey, you will have to sign a separate rental agreement, then that'll come through on the listing. Also, once the guest makes a reservation, you will have access to their email. So you can immediately, once they book, you get their email and you can email them the rental agreement.
Okay, and somebody's asking if you think that Hopper will go IPO.
No timeline yet. We like being small. We like working in a nimble way. No information on that yet.
Okay, and Brian, I can answer your question because that currently in Escapia Connect that is not showing. It will be soon. We are getting with Escapia to make sure that we can add that into your wizard. So yes, that is coming. Now, when you were talking about additional fees, and I'm going to go back to my question about the rental agreement as well. Does Hopper have a place for house rules, say like VRBO does, like Airbnb does? Do you all have that?
If it's on the listing content that flows through from BookingPal, yes, it'll be there. It's not a separate place on our app.
Okay. Well, it's not in description. That's why I'm asking. Okay. We have a different, it's on the description page. Okay. When we do a test, we'll make sure that happens, Lisa, because the other thing that would have to go in there is for pet fees. Okay. Because pet fees are optional. So that's why I'm asking.
Okay. We'll be looking at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question is, are property managers allowed to just push you only a few houses initially to do a test run?
Yeah, definitely. No, we want to make sure you like the platform, you like the experience. So we do need a certain amount of properties to make sure that, like I said, we do these sellability checks. So I don't know how many you plan on pushing, Ladonna, but we do have a threshold. So definitely encourage you to sign up, and then as we go through it, as many as you're comfortable, we'll see how to make it work with you.
Okay, Mark, have you already signed with Hopper, or did you already just push them over already? That's
I think Mark is already signed. I saw. Hi, Mark.
Okay.
Good to see you again.
Just making sure, because I wasn't sure on my side.
Yeah, no. Mark will be reaching out to you very soon. Sorry about that. We saw your form come in. Just reading the rest of your question here.
He's saying that the property IDs are in the 15,000 range. Is that all you have on the site to date?
No, we have way more than that. I don't know why that 50,000 range showed up. I'll look into that, but we have way more listings than that.
And it could be that, looking at it from my point of view, Mark, it could be that they're delineated per different channel managers. So this may be what we can't see. It might be 15,000 BookingPal instead of, it might have a BP when it goes over to them that we can't see.
Yeah.
And will the phone number to call for your account rep be a US number? I love you, Ann. God, I love you.
Yes, it will be. And also we will have you will have a direct line to your account manager once assigned. And also there's a partner support form for any issues you have. And trust me, they're extremely responsive. So if there's any issues outside of, if you can't get in touch with your account manager, someone will get in touch with you if you fill out that partner support form.
And Ann, you also know, if you can't get a hold of them, you always know how to get a hold of me. One way or another. Isaac is asking, since you are the merchant of record, how will they be able to get the extra money, the additional services, the pet fees and such?
No, great question. So we only, when we offer you a virtual credit card, that is for whatever feeds through BookingPal. So that's your total price plus mandatory fees plus taxes. So we collect all of that and we send it to you through the virtual credit card. Any additional fees will have to be collected by the guest directly. So I know that's not the most convenient thing right now. We are going to work on a way to incorporate these other fees into our total price.
And there will also be a way, obviously, with the house rules to let them know that they will have to supply a credit card to you.
I see some. Sorry, Paula. Yes. Now we'll look into the house rules too. I don't know specifically. I'll have to understand how that comes through from BookingPal.
Okay. A different Mark is asking about, he has the Hopper app on his phone, but he doesn't see vacation homes yet. How should he be able to see that?
That is strange, Mark. I'll reach out to you separately on this because it should be showing up. That would be quite a big issue. We do tests from time to time, so sometimes it might not show up. We might need to update it, but let me reach out to you separately and make sure that's working.
And then will Hopper have its own individual dashboard, or will they be able to do everything through BookingPal?
Yeah, so we don't do inquiries yet, Elisa, and we don't have a way to communicate with the guests yet. But we do give you the email once they book, but we have no way for inquiries right now.
Now, Lisa, are you asking just inquiries, or what if a guest has a question, Trilok? How does that work?
They can reach out to the Hopper support, and we can we can reach out to the property manager and ask them questions. So in the app, there's a customer support area where they can ask a question, and we'll make sure we get that to you to get answers.
And that would be for questions like, can we get an early check-in, things like that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the elephant in the room, how do you all handle refundable security deposits?
Yeah, so right now, again, that's something that will have to be collected from the guest directly.
Okay, so mark number 2, because we have a Mark D and a Mark H. So Mark H, search for vacation rental properties in Waikiki and only found hotels. He did it on a PC. Is that because it's on a PC, or is that because we don't have anybody yet?
No, so Hopper is very focused on a few markets where there's a lot of demand. So maybe we just don't have enough listings in Waikiki yet, Mark, because we're not seeing a lot of demand there. But we hope to in the future for sure.
And I can answer this one for you. Yes, Hopper is live in BookingPal already. As soon as they're ready to get your properties, Treeloke will let me know, and Holly and I can get together on a call and get those pushed over.
I did see some hands raised. Adrian, you raised your hand. Are you still on?
I think he waved in the beginning.
It says 3 participants raised hand.
Oh, okay. I haven't gotten there yet. And Isaac, yes, you would have to get with the guest direct, because the credit card that you get from Hopper is a virtual credit card. So you'll have to get with the guest to get an actual credit card for any additional payments. And then LaDonna, this is a great question. Are property managers charged credit card fees since you're the merchant of record, or is it just the 5 to 10% net discount that they have to do? And it's good to go.
Yeah, so there's no card fees. It's just the net 5 to 10%. There's no additional cost. We don't even charge the traveler. So it's just that discounted rate.
And Mark, thank you. I'm glad you did an app update because the homes are now displaying in Waikiki. That's great.
Actually, Paula, I found a way to, so if I ask for the people who raise their hands, I can ask them, I can allow them to talk. So I'm gonna,
oh, great.
Adrian, I'm gonna set you live. Adrian, can you hear us? Okay.
Adrian, you're on mute, but if you have a question, please ask it in the chat and we can definitely answer that. No, Treeloke did not work for BookingPal, but you may know him from another place. I'll put that much, but it wasn't with us. If you'd like to give your background a little bit, Treeloke, that would be great.
Yeah, sure, Mark. I worked at Verbal before, so we've spoken a few times. Happy to work with you again. Lauren's question, is Hopper going to collect and remit takes on the PM's behalf?
Taxes.
Oh,
it says
taxes?
Takes, but it's supposed to be taxes.
No, so we collect all the taxes and send it over to you, and you will be responsible for your tax consolidation. We will collect it and give it to you on that credit card. But any kind of consolidation or outside of that will have to be done by the property manager.
Okay, so Isaac heard about customer support earlier. Is Hopper working on a better DM chat stream method for questions pertaining to listing host or PMC?
We're always hoping to learn from y'all. Right now, we have a so there's two ways. The guests can reach customer support through the app, and PMC, such as yourself, will have an account manager and a partner support form you can fill out, which you'll get a response to really quickly. But as you all join, as you get feedback from you, we're looking on ways on how to improve that using a chat stream, whatever works for property managers. So that's a great suggestion, Isaac. Thank you.
And LaDonna, okay. You have to remember that, and Treelook, you can help me on this one, but do they collect taxes on Hopper's fees? Remember, Hopper's fee is actually a discount.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. No,
okay,
yeah.
But hold on. Thinking about this, since you all raise the rate dynamically from that 5 to 10% discount, will they receive the taxes on the higher rate? And LaDonna, let me know if that's what the question is. I do believe that's what it is. Does that make sense, Treelook?
Yeah. It will be on the higher rate, I believe. I'll confirm that, though. That's a good question.
Yes, you'll get it on that whole thing. Yes.
You
shouldn't have issues.
Yeah.
Y'all are coming up with some great questions. Keep them coming. We still got some time, folks. And again, the refundable security deposit, remember, LaDonna, you will be collecting that on your own, so that won't even come over from Hopper, so that you won't have to worry about getting taxed on that. Any other questions, folks? Okay. Carrie is asking, do your clients typically uplift their fees and rates, or do you require clients to stick to their rack rates? I think that goes into the net rate explanation, but I'm going to let you go through it.
Yeah, no, Carrie, we actually ask you to drop your rates 5 or 10%, and then we apply a markup. And that's basically our way of, we don't charge you commission, but we actually just ask you to give a little bit of a discount, so we can apply that markup and compare it with other OTAs and make sure you're the most competitive in the market to win on Hopper. See Isaac's question, will every listing have an elaborate detailed list of amenities? So whatever's right now, Isaac, whatever you have in your PMS or BookingPal is what will show up on Hopper. So if you have a list of amenities there, that's what will show up. We will introduce a much better way to filter for amenities that will help increase your, boost your listing in search and et cetera, et cetera. But right now, we're pulling content from your current system of record.
LaDonna's questions, and I know a lot of people that are on this call are also on HVMI. So this is a really good question about being out of parity with VRBO and Marriott.
Yeah, so we will never ask you to be lower than your rate on your direct website. We want you to be, so once we take that rate from your direct website, we apply a markup to that rate and make sure you're competitive on Vrbo and compared to Vrbo and Marriott. We just ask for a little discount so we can be more competitive. So instead of asking you for commission outside of your rate, we ask you to drop your rate by 10% and then add that markup. And that'll definitely be at par with Vrbo and Marriott, ideally beating that price.
And just so you know, LaDonna, on that as well, the agreement for Marriott says that you can't be more that being in and out of parity. It can't be more than 15%. That's why they're allowing you to put in their 15% markup. So that shouldn't be an issue. Yes, Brian, we are recording this, so we will be able to get you a recording. And then Mark D is asking what percentage is the markup, but I know that changes depending on area and
Yeah,
things like that, correct?
it's very dependent on where you are, Mark. So I think we can have a chat with you, and I can give you more specifics on that. But just think about it. We want you to win in the market. So we're definitely not going to increase that take that much so that you don't get bookings. All right, that was great. A lot of great questions.
And I have a question for you,
Yeah, sure.
something that people might be thinking about but didn't think about it.
Huh.
Because you're looking at making these folks be the market leaders since they're starting in the beginning. How many folks are you taking from each market to start out with?
There's no limit. So
Okay.
yeah, um, we're focusing on certain key markets. We're also giving a boost to new property managers in that market. So it's really exciting. If you're one of the first people in your market to be on Hopper, you will definitely benefit in terms of ranking.
Oh, we've got a couple more questions. Sorry, guys, missed those. Okay, wouldn't it, Mark H is asking, wouldn't it be easier just to charge a commission rather than asking people to discount their rates? But
Yeah,
technically, that's what you're doing, Mark. If you think about it, it's a 5 to 10% commission that is being charged. It's just doing it in a way that in BookingPal itself, in the rate adjuster for just that channel, remember we can do either upsells or discounts. So we would be able to do that directly in the BookingPal platform. And then how do reviews work? And do you all have a review program?
yeah. So again, we're a startup. We don't yet have a way for the guests to leave a review on Hopper, but we do have a way of feeding your reviews. Depending on how it is configured in BookingPal, we should be able to get that onto Hopper. That's something our team's working on. Again, we experiment and test quite a lot. We're trying to see what's the best way to launch reviews, but it will be based a lot on feedback from y'all. So looking forward to getting a lot of that as y'all on board.
Anybody else have any other questions? Like I said, there's been some great ones today, folks. And even if it's a BookingPal question, just let me know because we still have about 5 more minutes. So if y'all have any other questions. Go for it, Isaac. Where
Suspense.
I know it's
Suspense.
killing me. But while Isaac is thinking about his question, I just want to thank everybody for getting on.
I see some rolling in.
Okay, so LaDonna is asking if she tries out a few properties and aren't happy with it, are we still?
Yeah, no, not at all. It's a green contract, so if you're not happy with it, there's no binding agreement that you have to stay on, or there'll be a charge or anything like that, Adonna. So we want you to be happy with our platform. So you can try with a few properties. and then see if you like it. We prefer you to put all your properties, but obviously,
of course.
You're free to test it out.
And then the links, Lisa, that'll come over. Like I said, we are recording this, and Treeloke is also going to send us the presentation so that we can send that out to you. That's not a problem.
Yep.
Placement of listings.
Yeah. Yeah. So ranking, great question. So right now it's based on obviously search, where your listing is located, conversion of your listing, and also if you're new in the market, if you're a new listing, you do get a boost. So that's how you get an advantage in ranking right now. And obviously this ranking is changing as we bring on new partners. We're going to work with them, understand what's the best way to rank. Obviously we want to give the highest quality and the best fit in the market to the traveler. But that's how we're working on it right now. Thank you, Isaac. Great questions.
And again, folks, like I said before, thank you all for coming. We appreciate it. Hope you learned a lot. We will be sending out the presentation that Treelock did, and we will also have access to the recording that we can send you as well. So I'd say by tomorrow afternoon, Friday at the latest, you should have both of those. And again, thank you all for coming, and we look forward to working with you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you all. Hope to see you on Hopper soon.